Hi people of YouTube, Moose Man back out. Tonight, just on a little overnight stay at my sort of local woodland. The woodland that we're using is just sort of like a narrow copse, sort of veers round. We do have full permission from the landowner to be on his property, to use the woodland and to make our fire, providing obviously we follow the steps of tidying up, which is what we're planning to do. So I feel quite lucky really to have somewhere that we can go. I've probably been here sort of 6 times before, and yeah, it's a nice little training facility for us to come to, where we don't fancy going out one-nighters. So we're just kind of going into the entrance now, and then I'll bring you back when we get set up. How you doing, people? Took a bit of a while to get set up because I'm debuting the new Warbonnet blackbird hammock and superfly camo tarp, which I got shipped in. So I'll just give you a bit of a run round. Obviously the hammock, it's the tarp itself only just comes as the tarp, and you kind of have to make up your own guying system, tie off points and everything else. At this moment in time, you can see I've got the 2 doors just stapled together because I don't need them closed yet, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I should have gone a little bit further over the hammock at the end. Again, it's a learning curve. It's the first time it's gone up for me. All these tie-up points that I've got, they're all on pegs, and then this is glow line. And then I've gone into a line lock, and then I've got like a bungee hook there. It just gives it a bit of, when the wind's blowing, it gives it a bit of suspension. And yeah, I've got those. I haven't got behind there are centre tie-outs, but I haven't used them because I haven't got my poles through yet to make it into what's called porch mode, as everyone's probably familiar with. But I'll take you in. I've just got just a rough grain tarp down below, and this is the Warbonnet blackbird. This is the double layer, and I've got in between I've got a thermarest inside, and I've got just a Cedar Summit pillow, and that's a Cedar Summit Trek 2 sleeping bag. It's probably a bit overkill for tonight because it's not going to be hot. Sorry, it's not going to be raining or cold. It's just something that I've chose to put into my kit to make it a bit lighter. But this is the sort of wooded area that we're in. Don't get me wrong, it's not huge, but it's large enough for what we want to do. I know a lot of people don't have these hammock and tarps, but this material is it's light as a feather. It's kind of unbelievable how durable it can be and how waterproof it is. Because when you buy it, it feels like it's like some sort of plastic bag and it's going to break, but it's not. It's just the way that it's designed. I had to get this set up in from Denmark because I didn't want to have the hassle of the import charges being passed on, because it probably would have cost a bit of a fortune. I mean, it is expensive as it is. But that's the it's the 1.7 version. This obviously there's doors at both ends, and you've got like obviously the integrated bug net, and on the other side you've got the sorry about my camera action. You've got a shelf there where you can store all your stuff in, lights and everything else. Obviously with the, I've just got that gone into a DD extra large hammock sleeve, and then the suspension is just simply a carabiner on a webbing and buckle system, and then just like a lock-in half-hitch, what you know, pretty much what they recommend. But this tarp, as I said, is really lightweight, and you can pretty much design your own guying systems. I mean, the doors I've just got on sort of bungee cord, and then they can kind of lock it at either end. There's kind of like the centre tights, which I don't need to do because there's a tree right there. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with that. Obviously, anyone who's familiar with their products, that's the 1.7 double layer that I've chosen to get. It's just capable for my size, really. And just if you've got a bit of a keen eye, blended into the background, you've got the Warbonnet logo kind of blended in with the camo background, which is pretty good. It's a nice little design from them. And then basically where the label is, the Warbonnet label, that's always your head end, and they do that for most of their products. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think next time I'm definitely gonna do the ridgeline a little bit higher. On this one, for some reason they always recommend running the ridgeline across the top as opposed to the tarp going over the top. And you know, just on simple Prussics and little lightweight carabiners, because you don't need anything sort of heavyweight for that. Got me old Carrymore Predator SF. I got it upside down because I've got water in the bladder today, and it just makes it easier to drain out the hose. There's the old chair, and just this little table that my daughter got me for my Father's Day gift. And there's a fire at the moment, which we're going to have to try and top up. So I'll bring you back when more progresses. Cheers. Well, that's our fire rejuvenated. So that should last us for a little bit now. We're going to let that die down, and then I'm going to chuck these bad boys on. No bugs, woohoo! Hi guys, I'm back again. Just a little tip, nothing major, but if you're doing anything in the woods with food that needs sauce, you don't want to cart everything in. If you just get these little antibacterial hand sanitizer things, just with any bit left over, just swill it out, and then you can top it up with your ketchup and your mustard, or whatever sauce, chili, whatever it might be. And then when you pop the top, you can squeeze it on like a regular bottle. I mean, it's really inexpensive, and I mean these little bottles will last forever. So yeah, just a little wee tip. Just doing some sort of shots around the area that we are at the moment. Obviously, this backs out to obviously a bigger field. But if you stand back, you can kind of see like the woodlands. We're in this section over here. It's just a bit more open for us to put our stuff in. The other side's okay. We've been there before, but we've chosen to stay on this side. So I'll bring you back in a sec. Take you on a trek tour. See the glow of the fire. Mark's hammock in the distance, mine further behind. Yeah, that'll do us for a couple of hours, I think. Let it die down then. But it's temperature-wise, I mean, it's still probably about, I would say, at least sort of 16, 17 at the moment. So it's still quite warm, and we're not expected to get sundown until about 9:30, and it's now 10 past 9. So obviously, when you're in this wooded area at the moment, obviously it seems a lot darker than what it is because obviously the canopy above, but you can tell that it's getting darker on the outside. So hopefully it's meant to clear up tonight a little bit, and we might be able to get some stars footage. How you doing, guys? Thought I'd just sit down and have a chat with you, I suppose. Been doing this little hobby of mine now for about 3 years. There's one thing I won't do, as I will not claim to be any kind of professional or expert, and I'm far from that. But in this hobby, or this great hobby, there's no rules to what you do, to a degree. Obviously we've got the safety rules, we've got the leave no trace rules, which are, you know, basics. But I don't ever claim to be no expert or whatever. I just love to come out in the woods, out on a wild camp, wherever it may be, and just chill out, because there's nothing in this world that makes you just switch off from everything that you're doing when you do this. It's just such a chilled atmosphere, and there's always something to learn, and there's all these great channels that are on YouTube at the moment that you can learn from. People like Funky Prepper, Mindwise Man, Wiltshire Man, Carlo. The list is endless, and I know that these guys they've got a hell of a lot of knowledge, and I've watched all their videos, and I got to take at least something from that to probably make myself a little bit better, because they've obviously done it a lot longer than what I have. But the kit loadout is endless. You know, a scenario like this, I could be in a tent. I've got my tents. I've got a couple of tents, and I've obviously just invested in the old Warbonnet blackbird XLC. And
But I've had a couple of hammocks before. I've had a cheapy hammock, which I tried out because like I just wanted to give hammock camping a go, and it was a bad experience. Cold and put like reflectors on and didn't use under blankets, and it just kind of went a bit belly up, I suppose, and I didn't really have an enjoyable experience. I'm really sorry about the light anyway, but hopefully you can see me. And then I went into like a Hennessy hammock, and that's a very good hammock, and I got that. And then I ended up with the Warbonnet. That is just something I had my eye on for quite a while. I watched a lot of videos on it, and it was just something that I felt suited me. And that's what it's about. It's about what suits you. You know, it's as an individual. My kit loadout may be completely different to somebody like Tony Hobbs, who, you know, trails Dartmoor. He goes ultra light. Everything that he got, it's just like you could just carry it with one hand. But this hobby is what makes us individual and gets us our own stuff that we want to use. I'm on my third Bergen actually, where I kind of tried one, got on with that, no, maybe not, no, okay, we'll change, and I end up with this one, and this one's my keeper now, you know. So I'm in a stage where, as I'm growing and I'm buying all stuff which interests me, I'm getting to a stage where I'm getting some really good kit behind me now, and then I'll start to level out. But there's always somebody who's got an idea or a product that kind of takes your eye, and you think, oh, that might be a bit of me, and you end up going with it. But you know, it's my hobby, and I just absolutely love it. I just chill out, listen to the radio, not worry about a thing in the world. But hey, thanks for listening, guys. Yeah, that glow line I put on that tarp is working an absolute treat. Appreciate you can't see nothing else at the moment, apart from the glow line which is on the tarp. Yeah, I think that's a good move, definitely.
Still not particularly that dark though, is it?
Nice bit of Saturday night TV. Oh, creepy cow eyes. Hello?
It's weird as well because they're all black, so they just blend in with the shadows.
Yeah.
You're going to be a steak one day.
It's weird. Good night, people. I'm all nestled inside the old Warbonnet hammock now, and it's time for a bit of retirement. See you in the morning. Morning to you, people. Bit gloomy today. Weather's kind of taking a bit of a turn. Probably going to be in for a bit of rain, I would imagine. It's 6:10 now. So I've got the old gas stove on. Just cooking up some water for a brew. So I've started to disperse the fire already. I just moved all the coals to the outside, let that all cool down, then we'll douse it with water and then we'll cover that over. Yeah, warm night, no issues in the hammock with temperature. Didn't get cold once, really, no, absolutely no issue, and it's really comfortable as well, because they got that. It's got that foot box in the side. You can put your feet on the side and lie straight, and even on your side, your stomach, your back, whatever. It's good. So I'm pleased in that, and I think I've hit my go-to now. Took a while, but we get there in the end. So yeah, I'll bring you back. Bring you back when more happens. Cheers. Oh, that's what you want. First brew of the day. Cheers. Hey guys, as you can see, I'm starting to break down camp now. The superfly's now in the DD hammock sleeve. The reason I'm using that is obviously there's a lot of tie outs, and it does come with a little great stuff sack, but bearing in mind when it does come, it's only the tarp that fits inside that bag, and then when you start adding guy lines and tie offs and everything else, then you'll find it difficult to get it back in the bag. So if you just use this, I'm using this anyway, this XL sleeve, it fits nicely in there and you can pack it away. That's the Warbonnet. That's got a double-ended stuff sack, so you open it that way, and then you can pull it out, and then it will easily stuff away. You just pack one side down, close the end off, and then stuff the other side back in. So it's nice and simple. So I'll bring you back when more follows. But that's all packed up now. That's where I was between those two trees. Right between them two. That's where the fire was. That's all nice and cleaned up now. Nice and tidy for the next use. Well, thanks for watching, and do another one soon. Cheers.